Recovery College in the Spotlight presentation. So my name is Nisha Prietti and I am the Recovery College Manager, a role that I stepped into in June of this year. And before that, I worked within Sutton Talking Therapies. So since starting this role, I've had the opportunity just to see how much of a positive impact the college has had on our students that we support. But I've also heard there's been some confusion about how to refer, when to refer, and who's eligible for our courses. So today, hence we're having this presentation to shine a light on all these questions that have been put to us. So I will hand you over to our lead administrator, Andrea, who will run through what to expect from the presentation. So Andrea.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Andrea. I'm the lead administrator for the Recovery College. Just a few pointers. We would request like a group agreement that everybody keeps themselves on mute and hold off all questions after the presentation so that we don't interrupt the flow. We also have two BSL interpreters available today. And also the last bit of information, which is we are recording this presentation. So if anybody could not make it today, they have some frame of reference. I will now hand you over to Zorka, our lead trainer at the college.
Hi, everybody. A few familiar faces, so thank you for being here with us. That makes my presentation much easier. Presenting online is not my cup of tea, so thank you for actually being here with us today. So as you have probably known, because you have attended our courses and visited our college, it is a really unique and innovative place. And those attending the Recovery College are treated as a student, not a patient. We actually provide a welcoming, non-clinical environment and experience. And we don't actually have access to students' clinical notes, and we don't report back to the teams. So if staff want to know more about their clients, they need to ask for their permission to contact us. The courses provide a safe, supported environment for students to learn and contribute to discussions when it feels right for them. So they actually learn at their pace. We also use a recovery-based approach to support self-management learning in class by encouraging people to become experts in their own self-care and well-being. We introduce tools to students to manage their conditions, which enables them to see that it's possible for things to get better and to regain a meaningful life again. Students define their own recovery, a sense of purpose and a meaningful life outside of services. And they discover an identity as someone other than a mental health patient. And actually, we enable families, friends, carers, and staff to better understand mental health conditions and support people in their recovery journey. So since the opening in 2010, we've seen over 7,000 students come through our doors, and feedback from services show that clients who attend the college usually reduce how often they need to access those services. Feedback from students also tells us they have a great resilience and self-awareness, and they come away with the skills to cope better when things get difficult. So students have the opportunity to engage in different ways at the college. Most of our courses are delivered in the classroom, face-to-face, and this is how we prefer things to be actually at the college. But also we have online courses delivered via Microsoft Teams, similar to what we do here. A link to our courses are received via email. And of course, our admin team is available for technical support at the beginning and during each session. And also short weekly webinars at present are also available using Microsoft Teams. Groups are limited to between 6 to 8 per session, sorry, in a webinar, and 10 to 15 in a classroom. The Recovery College e-learning hub. Lindsay, can you please share the slide? So the Recovery College e-learning hub is an online multimedia resource for those who are not ready to come along to a classroom session. It is a good resource for those who do not have access to the college as well. Andrea probably will also share the link in the chat, so have a look there. The hub also offers downloadable course content, videos, audio guides, as well as useful resource documents. So just be nosy, have a look what's available there that may be of use to your clients if they're not ready to attend the Recovery College yet. Thank you, Lindsay. Where we deliver, you're probably familiar that we cover across the 5 boroughs of the trust. So the courses can be local to you at a variety of educational venues in Merton, Sutton, Kingston.
Muted, Zorka.
All right. Well, that probably, how much of what I said you haven't captured? Maybe I've muted myself when Lindsay stopped sharing.
You got up to Merton and Sutton.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we have 5 venues across the 5 trust boroughs, which is Merton, Sutton, Kingston, Richmond, and Wandsworth. And you can find the exact locations of those venues on the timetables when they are available to you, or actually checking that on the website. Also, our courses library and computers are available to people who use our services, and up to 12 months after discharge, also to their friends, family, and carers, and trust staff, with one exception, that the library and the computers are only available for use by the service users, their friends and family, and not staff members. The most asked question is, who is eligible? Lindsay, can you please share that, the slide that we can actually refer to? It's more visual, so I can take you through that. So all service users receiving trust services can continue using the Recovery College for 12 months after being discharged from the services. Also, their friends, family, and carers can attend as well, providing they register themselves as well. Staff attend our courses upon registration as well. However, we limit their attendance to 2 staff members per course, and this is because we would like to allow a better balance of conversations within the class. Also, specialist services within the 5 borough have access, and the national services of those specialist services where the service user resides in one of the 5 boroughs. Talking therapy also have access within the 5 boroughs, and also their clients who are awaiting therapy post-assessment. The webinars we provide, however, which are not part of our timetable, so you wouldn't be able to see them there, are open to everybody, so there is no need to register for those. However, we are currently reviewing the future delivery of those webinars, and any change will be communicated on our website, so you're up to date of what's going with that. The most important part of that is who doesn't have access. So the well-being services within the talking therapies, which is primary care, do not currently have access. The spa and the home treatment team are excluded as well. However, clients who are offered secondary services post-assessment are eligible to attend the Recovery College. Thank you, Lindsay. So how and when to refer? We warmly encourage self-referral because that gives a bit of sense of control of our students. They choose themselves what and how to attend. And we would like to stress that it is never too soon to talk to your clients about the Recovery College. The earlier someone engages with the college, the more profound an impact it can have on them. And it is okay if your clients don't know where to start. Just encourage them to come along to one of our open days. We hold drop-in sessions 6 times each year at different venues. They are a great opportunity to chat with a trainer or peer trainer and figure out what courses would work best for you or them. We also email and post open day posters, timetables for the new term, and course pathway and descriptions prior to each open day. So hopefully in a couple of weeks you would be receiving those. So we would like you to call us for clarity. If something is unclear, we're just a phone call or an email, or probably away, or just walked into the Recovery College. Get to know us. We like when people drop in for inquiry. We're quite a friendly, small team, so we appreciate when people come to us and ask us questions. Get familiar with our course pathways and course descriptions, or probably attend one of our courses just to get familiar with the environment and actually learn about something, because we consider our courses as self-development. We always learn something about life from different other students attending. It's fascinating when someone is engaging in class and they go home feeling happy about what they have learned, the possible changes they can make to their lives. So just find out what your clients want to learn and how they need to learn that, not just what you think will be good for them. If they are unsure, a visit to the college may be their first step. Encourage them to explore, or you may become along with them. So it's never too soon to talk to your clients about the Recovery College. And the earlier someone engages with the college, the more profound the impact it can have on them. So hopefully I was able to give you in a very compact way the essence of how you can refer, what the Recovery College is all about. And over to my colleague, Owen, for more details. Thank you.
Thank you, Zorka. So I'm going to talk to you from a peer trainer perspective, and for me, being a former student of the Recovery College, patient at Springfield, I have maybe a unique perspective on that. And as Zorka's mentioned already, the people who you meet, you might refer to them as clients or service users, but anyone who joins the Recovery College courses, whether that's online or face-to-face, we refer to as students. So I've obviously benefited from it a lot, and I'm here as proof that the Recovery College works and does a really good job. What I try to do in my role as a peer, and what we do at the Recovery College on the whole, is focus less on the things that need fixing and more on the things that people would like to do, would like to introduce into their lives, their wants, their desires, their aspirations. And maybe that's a little bit away from the medical model, and more focusing on the recovery model, which we do at the Recovery College. How we relate to our students and communicate with our students is based on everyday usable language. So we try to avoid things like acronyms, or medical jargon as much as we possibly can. And again, that's where we come in as peers, and myself and my colleagues sort of give our lived experience and help people to relate their mental health in that sort of everyday relatable language. At the start of our courses, when we think about how our students can be sort of engaged and empowered, we ask our students, as we have on today's session actually, to come up with a group agreement, for our students to think about what things they would like to agree on as a group. Things like put your phone on silent and try to be non-judgmental. But really to sort of start that conversation that really people can be in control of their own environment, and how much they would like to share or not share. And as Zorka said before, we make it clear that it's confidential at the Recovery College and that we're not checking up on people's medical records or reporting back to people's teams, which goes a long way to sort of helping people feel more comfortable in the Recovery College courses. So one of the ways in which people can build their confidence and their self-belief is to look at how sort of I guess the way in which they've learned in the past and the way that they would like to learn now, and discover more about themselves as we talk about the recovery being a journey, and sort of what it is that they would like to learn about at the Recovery College on their journey. And Zorka mentioned the course pathway. It's really important that people feel in control of what courses they choose to do. So it's not a directed course pathway for people. We've got suggestions of courses that they would start with and maybe work towards, but it's really for people to feel in control and empowered to pick which courses work for them. And so one of the ways in we work in co-production with our students is to get feedback from them at the end of courses. And as facilitators, we learn, as Zorka said again, is we learn from our students, and they learn from each other, and we encourage them to share what they liked about the course, any critical, constructive criticism that would go to developing the course and improving it and making it better for them. And this is how the Recovery College works on that co-production level, from course to course. And someone like me sharing sort of my experience as a student maybe encourages people to be open and honest about what it is that they enjoyed on a course. The Recovery College has had really good success in developing tools with our students. In particular, one I've got great fondness of is our development with our pharmacy team. We run Understanding Your Medication courses, and as you can see on your screen now, we've developed a medication diary. This can be downloaded from our website, the Recovery College website, And we also share hard copies of this sometimes on courses for our students. And it's a very simple but very effective way for people to understand their medication and have examples to share with those people that would be best placed to support them. So the session itself is to speak to a pharmacist and have a bit of a Q&A with them and understand sort of the technical difficulties, but also the things that are sort of relevant to their own experience as far as side effects go, the good, the bad and ugly that goes with medication. We encourage our students to note down for themselves and not to rely on their memory. And you've got a few quotes here, so I'm not going to read those out for you because they're not my quotes, but they're there for you to read at a later date if you choose. And we've got lots of sort of really nice testimonials from our students that you can read online on our website as well. Really important thing is that instead of being told, you know, as people have often felt in the medical model, here's a pill, take this, and good luck kind of thing. You know, we're really hoping that people will feel sort of more in control of their treatment plans, that they have real autonomy about what it is that they're doing and what they can do to maybe change things for the better as well. Another thing that's often, I guess, underestimated in this sort of situation at the Recovery College is the fact that students do learn from each other. They get ideas, they get encouragement from each other, and they often share their thoughts and their feelings about mental health amongst their peers that maybe they wouldn't feel so comfortable sharing in a clinical setting. So they find common ground and really helps people to feel less stigmatized. As a co-facilitator, as a peer co-facilitating sessions, I often give examples about what's helped me stay well and manage my own mental health. One of the things that I usually say is quite unique is that for the last 10 years or so, I have a fridge and a freezer, but I choose not to use it. And people often say, oh, well, that's a bit strange. Why is that? And I explain that as part of my mental health, I would often isolate. And so now by having no fridge or freezer, I can't stock up on food. And that means I leave the house more often, even if it's just to go to the shop and get some fruit and veg. I'm a vegetarian, so for me, fresh is best. And this often sort of opens the conversation up for people to start thinking about what unique things have they got in their lives that they control, that they would maybe consider as part of their toolbox. And when we talk about tools and toolbox at the Recovery College, we're really talking about anything that helps people manage and cope with their mental health difficulties, or anything that maybe lifts their mood when they're feeling down. It can be anything. I carry around a little bottle of CK1 with me as a sort of a pick me up. Just that smell can really help. But it can be the music that people listen to. It can be breathing techniques that we often talk about on our courses. It can really be anything. And at the Recovery College, we encourage people to have lots of different tools for lots of different occasions. So really, to sum up what I've just said and spoke about, is that the expert in you and me is you, and I'm the expert in me and you're the expert in you. And it's for no one really to tell anyone what their journey should be or what it will look like, and that it will continue to grow and develop. as their understanding and knowledge often does through doing our recovery college courses. So as Zorka also said, is that people will need less support if they're able to manage for themselves. And so, you know, by recommending to your clients, your service users, your carers, friends, family, to join our courses, hopefully, the idea is that it will make your jobs easier and make their lives better. So to me, it's kind of a win-win. So I'm going to be around at the end for any questions that you may have. So please do think about what you might want to ask. And now I'll hand over to my colleague, Becky.
Hi, I'm Becky. I am a peer trainer at the Recovery College. I was a student, and I'm going to share with you a part of my journey and experience with the Recovery College. So in 2018, I heard about the Recovery College through a friend. I was at that time finishing a course of CBT. Therapy has helped me immensely, but each time it finished, I wasn't sure what to do with myself. And before long, I was back on a waiting list. I was stuck going round the revolving doors of services and knew no different. I asked my therapist if she knew anything about the Recovery College. She hadn't heard about it, but said she'd look into it. The following week, she'd had a look and confirmed it was something I was eligible for, and all I needed to do was self-refer, so I did. I booked in for the open day, not knowing what to expect. I'd had a look at the information and it looked interesting. The open day was good and the trainers reassuring. I was nervous but hopeful, having booked onto 3 foundation courses. So I went along to my first course, Intro to Recovery. I was really surprised at the environment there and realised I'd gone into it expecting it to be like school or therapy. It was not at all. There was tea, coffee, biscuits and conversations being held between students and trainers. It was inviting and welcoming. When the course started, we were all offered the option to introduce ourselves and say as little or as much as we wanted. It was your choice and there was no pressure. We then all did a group agreement, and I appreciated the way it was done, as it made me feel more secure in such a new environment. As the course progressed, I began to feel hope that I could really learn something here, and I came out of that course with a real sense of achievement, as I'd been so nervous. I was more excited about doing the next course than I was scared, and this was huge for me. As time went on, I completed the foundation and intro courses. I was gaining an understanding of what was going on with my own mental health and others. I felt a part of something and it was amazing. I was ready to start the intermediate courses. And this is where my depth of knowledge really began to grow. They are so informative and relatable. I was learning how to manage my life better with an understanding of myself. I slowly and gently started to gain some control in my day-to-day life and make some informed choices. I had hope for the first time in my adult life. Once I started the advanced courses, it was as though all the puzzle pieces were coming together. I'd started to build a toolbox. I was learning about boundaries, journaling, and mindfulness. I was finally starting to understand my emotions and how to assert myself with people. I'd even tried meditation and felt safe. I was taking control of my own life. I felt equipped at this point to take my recovery further. So I took the steps to start the trauma-based therapy I'd been offered 10 years previously. I now had the tools and understanding to do it. I had a hope that had been non-existent before the Recovery College. And I was taking control of my life in a way I'd never been taught until now. I wasn't going to let this opportunity pass me again. Now, this was a progression that evolved relatively quickly in comparison to all the help I'd received previously, and that's 100% down to how the courses go from foundation, intermediate to advanced. It's clever how they are structured and how they progress gently. It's done with a compassion from the trainers that's quite unique. The pandemic then struck, and isolation once again was part of my life. But thank goodness I'd done everything with the Recovery College, because I was able to keep myself well enough with the tools and self-management skills I'd learned over that couple of years. During this time, I made the referral for the trauma-based therapy and completed it, and this was a huge achievement and a life-changing experience. I then self-referred to the Recovery College again. Starting back was exciting. I knew exactly what to expect this time round, as I'd been putting it all into practice. After roughly a year, one of the trainers showed me the trainee peer trainer opportunity and said I might like to have a think about it. It's a wonderful opportunity which offers students the chance to train with the Recovery College to become a peer trainer themselves. You train alongside a current peer trainer and trainers whilst volunteering for a year. Now, here was an opportunity I'd never thought possible, but what better job to have, one where I could help others and keep myself well at the same time. So I went for it, one step at a time. The whole process has been incredible, and overall, I felt very lucky to have this opportunity. I'm loving being a part of something that has helped me grow in a way I never knew possible. I continue to learn from the students and trainers, and I'd encourage anyone living with mental health difficulties or not to look into how the Recovery College works. It's not just courses, it's instilling life skills that are imperative to living a full life. It's not in any way like the education system or the clinical health service we currently have. It's pure enrichment in every sense of the word. Who I am today, from who I was when I started, has been an amazing thing to witness in myself. The hope, control, and opportunities are now abundant. I face challenges now rather than hide, and I'm equipped to help myself and others. And I'm incredibly thankful to the trainers that guided me through this journey. I love my job. Thank you.
Thank you, Zorka, Owen and Becky. So they are the presentations from our trainers, and now we open the floor. If you have any questions, can't see any questions in the chat. But yeah, if there are any questions, feel free to ask away, and the team here will be able to answer them for you. We have got some open days coming up, which will be shared in the chat as well, for all 5 boroughs. So look out for them. And yeah, you're all more than welcome to pop in and say hello as well to the Recovery College in Trinity. Sarah, hi, nice to see you.
Hi, nice to see you. Thanks, everyone. It's really great. I'm really sorry, I might have missed this at the beginning. If someone's in, so I work in Merton, but someone could get to like one's worth of courses. Can people come to courses in other boroughs? Apologies if this was covered. It's a bit late.
Yes.
Shall I answer that? Oh, cool. Okay. Andrea, go on, please.
Okay, yes. The A to Z timetable has all 5 boroughs listed on there, as well as the online courses. We do have a few service users who'd like to travel, because sometimes they would run in one borough, a course that they want to do would run in one borough, and it wouldn't run in the borough that they're from. But if they're happy to travel, then they're welcome to attend any venue.
That's brilliant. Thank you.
May I also say, it wasn't covered in my presentation, but it just occurred to me that we missed that information. So young adults in transition to adult services, we rarely see those students attend. So if you have young adults in transition to adult services, or at the very beginning of their journey with adult services, please do encourage them to come along and explore. It might be possible that they just come, see how friendly we are, what they can get from us. So the bare minimum of engagement, because it's kind of overwhelming we know it's overwhelming for those people in transition. to choose and engage with services. So please encourage them if you have such clients to come and explore.
See another
Question.
hand up at Bradville.
Yes, hi. Thank you very much for the presentation, for sharing your stories, for sharing the resources. I also wanted to say that I recently sent an email to the inbox about a question I had about a referral, and you were so quick to respond. So thank you very much for being so welcoming and so approachable and eager to help. I had a question around if there's a client who needs an interpreter to be present for, let's say, a workshop or a training. Is that something that's possible to arrange?
What was the question? So if there's someone requires an interpreter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that we can arrange. Yes, we can. For a BSL interpreter, we can arrange.
How about for other languages?
We haven't, I can't give you a definitive answer just now. We haven't really explored that just yet, but we have had a couple of, well, since my time here in June, there's been one inquiry about that. But what we found that the individual, after speaking with Andrea on the phone with the courses, the option was given to attend to see how the individual felt comfortable in the session, and they did. So it wasn't needed then. It's just something that we haven't looked at in depth, but we will be. Stella.
Yes, surrounding that question, actually what we found is because people who want to attend the Recovery College obviously have family and friends and carers, and hopefully some form of support network, and will maybe bring somebody along with them who can interpret for them. And of course we can accommodate that person on a course. So that's something to bear in mind. So rather than having an official interpreter, maybe they have a friend or somebody as part of their support network who can come along and give them some support in the classroom, but also translate for them if necessary.
And those of you that don't know Stella, Stella's one of our peer trainers at the college as well. Okay. Anything in the chat, Andrea, you want to go through?
Yes, there's one from Carol. Thanks, Carol, for your question. Regards home treatment team. At the moment, we do have the webinars that are that I've shared in the chat that are open to clients with the home treatment team who you're not sending over or sending across to secondary care services. And we also have the e-learning hub, which I've also shared the link to. There are lots of course downloadable courses. There's video and audio guides as well. And students during the pandemic found that really helpful. So if you could download it for them as well and use it, or if they have a smartphone, they could use it on their smartphone too.
Any other questions? Okay. We will be running a similar presentation for our colleagues within the 5 boroughs of talking therapies in December. So we're just working on sort of the dates and stuff. So look out for that. I can see a couple of some talking therapies teams here as well. So just watch this space, and because there's lots of obviously I've come from talking therapies, and the waiting list within talking therapies are quite big. So then the Recovery College can really sort of jump in and support with those waiting lists as well. But we'll have that presentation in December, first week of December we're looking at. So yeah, watch this. Owen?
Just out of thought, I can say that I am a marketing lead for Richmond, and if any of the Richmond teams that may be here, who I haven't already delivered a talk for, I'd be more than happy to come along and speak at any of your meetings that you have, or if you wanted to make a special meeting. It would be a short presentation, similar to this one, but I would often bring a little bit more in regards to sort of timetables and stuff like that. So do reach out to me if you're interested in having a talk from me, especially for the Richmond teams.
If there are not any other questions, we can bring this to a close. But really, thank you very much for attending. It is recorded, so let your colleagues know who couldn't attend. It will be uploaded onto Insight as well. I'll speak to Luke in comms. We'll get that arranged. And honestly, please feel free to drop us an email, pop in and see us. If you have any questions that might come to you a bit later, please feel free to come and see us or drop us an email. We'll be able to support. But yeah, thank you very much for giving up your lunch break and coming along to see us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Eric, you staying? You can stop recording now as well.
Thank you, Jenny, Susie.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
No problem, no problem. It's still recording. Do you want us to stay?
Andrea's
or...
controlling the recording.
Sure.
Hang on, let me try.
I think you're good to